The Dodgers signed Max Muncy. We're breaking down the deal. Was this a good signing for the Dodgers? That's coming up next on an emergency episode of Dodgers Dugout. Hey, what's going on, Dodgers Nation? Doug McKain here. My friends call me D-Mac, credentialed member of Dodgers Media. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. And if you haven't yet, do me a huge favor and subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. And if you really want to support the channel, smash that like button. And as always, I want your takes down below in the comment section. Today's Dodgers Nation question of the day: what is your reaction to the Dodgers' new contract for Max Muncy? What is your take? What do you think it means? How do you feel about it? I want all your reactions down below. And for all latest Dodgers news, head over to DodgersNation.com. So we officially have liftoff for the MLB free agency. Now, the first part of free agency is about teams negotiating with their own free agents, their own players, and we already have a signing. So crank up that signing siren, because the Dodgers have signed Max Muncy to a new contract. LA tweet out: the Los Angeles Dodgers agreed to terms with infielder Max Muncy on a 2-year contract through the 2025 season for $24 million. The deal includes a $10 million club option for 2026. Now, the deal was originally reported by fan-sided MLB insider Robert Murray, who broke down the deal in a tweet. He tweeted, "Breakdown of Muncy's deal per source: $5 million signing bonus, $7 million in 2024, $12 million in 2025. The deal also includes plate appearance performance bonuses." So my first big takeaway is that you got an extension instead of picking up that club option. So the Dodgers were 100% with a bullet going to pick up that $14 million club option. So what they essentially did is add another year and add a $10 million club option. Now, whether you want to see Max Muncy as the Dodgers starting third baseman or DH, that really is beside the point, because they were always going to pick up that club option, because at that price, he's a bargain. At that price, a guy that can hit over 30 home runs provides a lot of value. And Max Muncy, say what you want, he's been productive at the plate. If you look at the year he had last season, he was right there at the top of the league when it comes to offensive production for third baseman. If you look at his MLB ranks, he had an 808 OPS. That was the 43rd highest OPS in the league. A 118 weighted runs created plus. That was 49th. So from an offensive production standpoint, he was 18% above league average. So don't focus on that batting average as much as the overall offensive production. He had 36 home runs. That was 11th in the league. 105 RBI. That was 10th in baseball. So he's good offensively. There's no doubt about that. His issue is with the glove. Defensively, he ranked near the bottom in every single defensive metric when it comes to defense at the third base position. Had a -3 defensive run saved. That was 12 out of 15. His -14.8 UZR 150 was dead last among qualified third basemen. So at this stage of his career, in my opinion, he is a DH that's masquerading as a third baseman. He truly should be your designated hitter. So the first thing that this does is it provides a contingency plan if the Dodgers don't go out there and sign a Shohei Ohtani. He can be that designated hitter, and you can address that third baseman, whether it be trying to go out there and sign a Matt Chapman, try to make a trade for a Nolan Arenado, try to explore some internal options. You could go that route, because look, the reality is he's not going to be playing second base. I've heard that float around at places. That's not going to happen. He does not have the lateral agility to be an effective second baseman with the restricted shift. If you played him at first base, you have a chance there, but there's someone at first base right now. His name's Freddie Freeman, so that isn't going to happen. Another thing you could do is use Max Muncy as a trade chip, and by having more years on his deal, he is a better asset if you believe in him as a player. And if you're a franchise that it's parting ways with established players, let's say the Milwaukee Brewers trade Corbin Burns, you're not going to want a rental player in place. So a guy that can give you a couple years, that does make some sense. So I think from a trade value standpoint, it actually ups his value if they're going to move Muncy at any point. And look, it's a 2-year, $24 million guaranteed deal, includes the $10 million club option. If you look at the production that he's had, like I said, last year, hit 212, but also had that 118 weighted runs created plus, had 85 walks in 135 games. And he's coming off 2 subpar seasons, right? He was dealing with that UCL injury, did finally have that bounce back year. And look, for the most part this season, he was under the Mendoza line. He did pick it up in late August into September, was able to put it up and end up with a really strong finish there to get those numbers up. But look, he's played just 6 years with the Dodgers. It's just 6 years in LA. He's already 10th all time with 175 home runs. This is someone that has had 4 seasons with 35 or more home runs. Only Dodgers player in history that has more is Duke Snider. So you're talking about someone that, on top of that, has had some legendary moments. His walk-off in Game 3 of the World Series, longest World Series game ever at 7 hours and 20 minutes, right? He's had some iconic moments, and really, if he stays with this team, could go down as an iconic Dodger. I know some of you don't want to hear that, but the production, it really speaks for itself. The only issue is he going to make sense at third base? Are his defensive deficiencies too glaring to justify having him at that position? Because, look, the reality is if you're able to sign Shohei Ohtani and Ohtani's the DH, he makes up for what's going on at third base, right? What Ohtani can do can basically make up for any type of runs that Max Muncy is costing you at third base, and also you factor in what he can do offensively as well. So you look at the fact they're getting $12 million a year on this AAV for a player that can hit 35 home runs. Every single team out there is going to want a player like that. That is an absolute steal. You look at guys like Kyle Schwarber, who are sub-200 batting average guys. Last year he had 47 home runs. That's someone who's comparable to Max Muncy. He's making $20 million a year. So I love this deal for the Dodgers. I think it made tons of sense. Andrew Friedman is trying to cook. Andrew Friedman is backing up those Brinks trucks for Shohei Ohtani. There's a very small indicator of that, but it shows you they're trying to start moving those chess pieces right now, starting to put themselves in a position to go after the big fish. And I think they're going big game hunting this offseason, and this is a move that tells me that they're trying to do just that. So I like the move. I think it made all the sense in the world. Like I was saying before, I've told you all offseason, I've told you all year, there was a slam dunk that they were going to pick up that $14 million club option. You essentially add a year to that plus the club option, and then you get the AAV down to $12 million per year. So it makes sense from that standpoint as well. So yeah, it's great to see Max Muncy back. He was on my show last year, and we talked about him signing a new contract, how much he wanted to be a Dodger, and he has talked about how much respect and admiration that he has for this organization. It was clear to me during that conversation that he wanted to stay in LA, that he wanted to find a way to get a new deal done and not just sign that club option. Here, give a listen to Max Muncy, who's on an episode of Dodgers Dugout last year, and we talked about his contract situation. Now, Max, I wanted to ask you about your future with the club, because back in August, you signed that 1-year extension with the club option for 2024. And I know you're focused solely on the upcoming season, but what would it mean to you to be with the Dodgers beyond next year and possibly finish out your career in LA? Well,
obviously, I'm hoping the option is turned into something a little more longer term. But, like I said, I think my relationship with the Dodgers, I think I control my own destiny with that. If I go out there and I play well, I think we can make it happen. But if I go out there and I don't play well, then, they're not going to just, sit around and hand things out. So I think I control my own destiny with that. And, like I said, if I go out there and I play well, we can make something happen.
So that's a guy that loves the Dodgers. That's a guy that respects the opportunity that this organization gave him. It feels to me like he gave them a hometown discount because he wanted to be in LA, a franchise that he loves to go to war with. And I think that he's someone that can still contribute at a high level. Yes, defensively, we know that he is bad. We know that he has struggled. There is no doubt about that. Maybe he finds a way to improve. Maybe you see him take the next step as far as his physical abilities and really go out there and attack the offseason, try to fortify his abilities and try to maximize whatever he has there. But it's not going to ever be due to lack of effort for Max Muncy. If he's going to be your starting third baseman, he's going to do everything in his power to try to get to where he needs to be a competent third baseman. So, look, we've seen it throughout every single player's career that you start to lose a step. Justin Turner, he was a Gold Glove finalist at one point, and then he lost his step. Max Muncy, towards the second half of the season, there were a couple of weeks there where he was grading out well at that position. So he told me also that that's where he feels most comfortable. He told me that during spring training last year. So I know he wants to be a third baseman. Yeah, really, he'd be best suited as your DH. This does provide a contingency plan for that. But the reality is that is a steal for a guy that's going to give you 35-plus bombs, over 100 RBI, that can take his walks, and is always a dangerous hitter. And not to mention, he's someone that's had a lot of success in the postseason. He absolutely has that dog. So I feel great about this signing. I think that it is a sign of things to come for this Dodgers team. They're already hard at work. I'm telling you, this is the legacy offseason for Andrew Friedman. We don't need Andrew Friedman to be Andrew Frugelman. He's got to spend a big bag. I think he's going to do just that. But that's going to do it for this episode of Dodgers Dugout. Let me know down below, what are your thoughts on the signing? Are you high on it? Are you low on it? Do you think that they should trade him? Do you think this means that there's a higher chance they do go out there, make big signings? When you look at how they structured the deal the way they did, it certainly appears to me that that is the case here. I think it's a great move. I love Max Muncy. I'm just going to throw that out there. He's a great guy. He bleeds Dodger blue. He's an absolute dog. When you look at a guy that's persevered after the Oakland A's just said, no, thank you. They threw him away. They didn't want anything to do with it. He played in the Mexican leagues, and he turned himself into an all-star player for the Dodgers, who has hit more home runs for this franchise than anyone else since he put on that blue in 2018. But that's going to do it. Let me know down below. If you haven't yet, do me a huge favor and subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. Hit that like button. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.